Today I only took 2 trades and I ended the day break even. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. Today is Tuesday, the 17th of March 2025, and here's how we did in the markets today. So today we ended up rallying from early out, breaking out to the upside from the overnight session. We ended up buying up. We retraced and during the overnight session, and then we bought right up, and I didn't get a chance to really capitalize on that part of the trade because I wasn't on the charts, and the 2 trades that I took today ended up being break even. So I took a sell on one account and a buy on another. So let's get right into it. So let me show you on the first account. So this is where I executed today. So I've been trading this account for a couple weeks now, actually a couple months now, from last year. So today, let me show you what we did. So today I only ended with $3 profit. So I took 2 entries, took 2 entries. So it's actually 2 trades that I took. Well, on this account I took 2 more on the other account, or I think 1 more on the other account, because I ended up taking a sell today and a buy. So I am going to show you on the charts where I actually executed that trade, but both of them ended up being break even. So the sell went into about I think about 40 points profit, but I didn't take any profit because it was just one lot. I didn't like the fact that we were very bullish, very strong bullish market today, as well as um we had already ran the previous daily high, and I really wasn't bullish. I really wasn't bullish. I really wasn't bearish, I should say. I really wanted the markets to continue going up, but I didn't get the entry to do that, and I had to just take what I could get. So let me show you now on the second account. Zoom out. Let me see today. Yeah, and this is the other one I executed 2 buys. So it's basically one trade. I took a smaller start and then I added into it a little bit later because I was trying to fix something while trading. The magic keys I didn't, because the thing about how I'm trading right now, I have to be very careful, as well as I'm basically all over the place in terms of movement because I'm at work or I'm on the road or something of the sort when I'm trying to execute. So by the time I'm getting settled, it's basically time to just basically take the trade. And I was there waiting. Honestly, I was a bit disappointed when I saw how the market buy up from early out in the session. Like before New York open, we actually ran the previous daily high, and that was a bit disappointing. But it is just what it is. Can't do anything about it. We're still inside that same range, so you know. So that is on the trades that I took today. Um, Let me actually go to the MT5 now and show you where we actually executed. So let me scroll back. Scroll back all the way back to today. Alright, so I took 2 trades today from this inversion. So I saw this inversion right here, and that is the reason why I executed this trade, as well as we came back to retest this fair value gap, and that is when we got stopped out. I thought we would have pretty much run up and take the highs, but as I said, the daily objective was already met, so we didn't quite get that price action. And from here to the highest it was say 50 points, but this was a smaller size. I took 0.25, and this one, this entry is 34 points. So this is actually a little under 0.5%. I think the max I was in profit was from here to here, which was 30 points. So I think about $35 I went into profit on this account. And on the other account, let me show you. US 100, scrolling all the way back, so you can see the magic keys is still open right there. So this was the sell that I took. Wasn't the cleanest of entry because I wasn't zoomed in. I was on the laptop and I just set up when I saw this. We had a nice little inversion here, retested this fair value gap, as well as we broke down, did a little bit of a change of character here, but this was right around 10, a little bit after 10 when I took this entry. I saw we were rejecting from this fair value gap right here, and I really should have executed better on this one, but to be honest, I didn't use the magic keys because I just load up the chart. So when I loaded up the chart right here, like when I loaded up the magic keys, like it was already pushing off and I got a late entry. The ideal entry would have been inside of this fair value gap, so inside of one of these candles up here. So we actually went into about, let me see, it's about 60 points in profit before we decided to turn up, and this was actually a harder block down here that we rejected from. So I just went break even. Honestly, I wanted us to break down some more, but we did that only after inside the 11 a.m. macro. So that is where I call it a day, and I just decided, you know what, let me just leave this thing alone and go back to work. So those are the two trades. Like I said, I think I took a trade on oil as well. I think I took a trade on oil. Let me show you back on. No, that's not the one. I took a trade on oil. So this is on the 1 hour chart. So I took an entry here, went into a bit of a drawdown, and then when we came back up, I went break even, and it came back to just take me out here. I guess I shouldn't have went break even, but I lost a little bit of hope because I wanted some more momentum, and we didn't get that. So I just, call it a day on that. So let me now go to trading view and show you, starting from the higher time frame as I usually do. So this is on the 4 hour time frame. Get to Nasdaq chart. So Nasdaq on the 4 hour time frame, when I looked at this, so see what the current weekly candle look like. I still have in the back of my head that we're going to flip this candle bearish and just ended up coming down. So possibly chances are then today or tomorrow could form the high of the day. We have FOMC tomorrow. So the current daily candle actually open, and we might just run the previous daily high before coming back down to take out this. I don't like the fact that this weekly candle doesn't have a wick on it. So I'm thinking that we're going to come back down to at least sweep this sometime by Thursday or so. So let us see if we actually get that kind of follow through on the market. So this is the 4 hour time frame. We're still back up inside of this range that we've been stuck inside of like for the last 3 months. And if I actually, like, I think I was on Twitter today, and a trader was actually saying, like, if you look at the higher time frame, like the current monthly, or I think he was looking at the 3 month candle. Let me switch to Nasdaq and go to the monthly candle. So this is the daily. This is the monthly candle, so we actually flip back green now after opening down here. We could actually flip back down and expecting us to flip back down and continue selling off. And if you look at the 3 months, so for the last 3 months, this looks like a doji. We're still trying to farm the range of the year, and I really don't think this is the low of the year, to be honest with you. We have a fair value gap inside of here that I think we could actually come down to trade into. So the new contract actually roll over today, and I'm thinking that maybe we could get some extra volatility going into FOMC. I'm looking for us to take out this week, trade down into this fair value gap, and then we could actually turn up for the year. So let me try to find this. This one is the fair value gap. So this is on the 3 month chart. So we're actually looking like a doji right here if I should look at this. So we haven't run the highs of the previous quarter. So this is from last year. So it's still an inside year. We haven't broken out really. So this is the 3 month candle. We could actually come down into this week. We have another little fair value gap inside of here, as well as we could trade down inside of this order block here. You know, we could actually revisit this, but this is a bit extreme. I don't know if we actually make it all the way down here, but this is possible if we get some extreme sell-off conditions going into the summer months. If we actually have any type of escalation and thing, I would love for us to come down in here for some discounted prices and then turning back up to the upside. So yeah, like I was saying, today not the cleanest price action, but it is what it is. I didn't get to capitalize on the early part of the move, and I just have to just pretty much just stay out of the markets for the most part. So look at the 1 hour time frame now. Here we actually came. Let me try to find the where we actually find the low of the day. So this is the current daily candle. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, so we started the day right here, traded down and then went back up. So it's a classic buy day with buying below the midnight open right here. So anywhere inside of here is discount where you could have gotten in, but once you get into the New York session, we just took off, and so we're already pushing up again here. If we take this early out, then that is it for tomorrow until FOMC. I don't we get a good move, but that is what's currently happening right now. You know, the market's moving cleaner in the overnight session than the actual main session, and I'm going to show you on the lower time frame, because all of this right here is New York session, and this part right here, I think this one candle is possibly New York, and the rest of it is just pre-New York and London. So that's on the 1 hour time frame. Let's go down to now the 15-minute time frame, and as I say, all of this right here is discount. We came down into this nice little fair value gap down here, or you could use this one right here that we traded down into. And to be honest guys, if I was on the charts all the time, or maybe if I was full time, then I could catch some of the daily expansion from early down here or even here, but I'm not able to catch down here because I'm not on the charts at that point in time. So I just have to just, you know, take what I get during the day and just call it a day. And like I said, this is where we took the previous daily high from early out. So I was just expecting a little bit of a retracement here. So when you see the markets moving like this, like it doesn't make any sense to force the trades. If I look at this from here to here, it's 370 points. And before New York, we're getting all of 300 points almost. So New York is a tight, say, 150 to 200 point range um, from the high to there. So that little bit of a movement, it's just, you know, lackluster. And if you force it, then you're going to end up getting stopped out. And maybe it's a good thing that I'm not on the charts all the time, because I would have possibly taken some more trades, forcing trades, a lot of people blowing accounts and all of that. But I don't have the ability to do that right now, because to be honest, I have to be disciplined, because I don't have money to keep on buying challenges and like and all of that. So let me show you now on the lower time frame what we actually did, and show you the best opportunities that we actually got um, throughout the session. So during Asia session, it was a bit of a range. There were some moves, yes, but nothing to write home about. This was a little decent, little sell off. We had another entry coming down here from this fair value gap right here. We found the low in Asia right around, this was what, 11, before we started to buying up going into the new day. So the midnight open right here, we had a buy entry from this fair value gap coming up, and that was a good little scalp for 50 points with say a 15-point stop. So that is 1 to 3. You could have gotten the stops a bit tighter if you are trading a bit aggressive, so you could have gotten 1 to 6 there. So we had a one entry there, another one inside this fair value gap, and another one here using this other block up here for a nice quick scalp. We had an inversion going into London session right here, and then we end up selling off. Another entry using this fair value gap, and I love these type of entries. These type of entries are just nice, you know. So we had that entry there. Then we kind of just range out in London, buys from here. So we had a fair value gap here that we tested. This could be also a breaker. Nice to buy there before we just started to range out. This is possibly a 5-minute fair value gap that we're rejecting from before we finally broke out to the upside, but not for long before returning back to the low. So we had these lows left here from London session, and we just basically farm a little buy model before taking off, going later down. So by the time we got to in the morning my time 5, we had another entry to go long, pulling back again, and then another entry to go long. And by the time we got to 8 a.m., this was the cleanest trade of the day. So entry anywhere inside of this using an order block here. This was when I was pretty much on the road. Like I was really flustered this morning on the road, because it's been raining on and off, and you know, public transport and thing, you know. So I missed out on that entry right there, and then there was another entry during this macro where we traded back and forth inside of this fair value gap, inverted several times, and then we finally broke out to the upside. So this was around 9. The 850 to 910 macro gave us that entry before 930 came and gave us a nice spike back down here. Let me see if I can. Let's see where we spike down. So the spike down, we actually overshot this fair value gap, didn't close below it, but this was a nice little spike down. And if I was on the charts, maybe I would have chanced a buy right here. You know, maybe I would have chanced a buy right here, just taking it from the spike down, and this would have ended up resulting in say 100 points push. You know, small risk, catching the New York open volatility. You know, anywhere below here or even up here, then you would have gotten a nice little trade. If you enter early, then the drawdown would have been, say, 35 points. That's not bad, you know. Drawdown and see where we actually came in is a order block. But there is no way for you to know how far we're going to spike down. We ended up respecting this candle right here. I don't know why, but this is the candle we respected before turning back to the upside, and that gave us a push. So the trade that I took was right inside of here. My entry was a little bit later down here, and we ended up running all of this. The ideal entry would have been from right here or right here. So the inversion didn't come until this candle. We ended up traded through that candle. Let's see. FVG. So this is another fair value gap. I don't know if you would call it. Yeah, it did invert, but when you understand the narrative and the markets, that's how you avoid taking some of these. Because back in the past, then I would have possibly tried to take a buy from this fair value gap to go higher. But we had already run the previous daily high, and I decided not to. So this macro gave us a nice little inversion to break back down. Low resistance because we had already run the previous daily high, and this is not the main trend of the day. So we ended up pulling back. This would have been a nice entry. One entry right there, another entry right here to go short inside of this 950 to 1010 macro. I could have capitalized on this a little bit better, but it's my fault. I wasn't ready, and that's how I missed out on that move. Then we had the buy. When I realized that we're pushing back up, so we engulfed this candle, and I decided, you know what, let me take a buy. So I took a buy here, rest the stops below here, and then I took another entry because I wasn't comfortable with the size. This was really quick, and like I said, I was still getting settled at my station during this time. So missed out on that, but we ended up running up before it stopped my break even right here, which is totally my fault again. We ended up traded back up into the same fair value gap, and then the 11. So 1050 to 1110 macro gave us a beautiful sell off. And by that time I gave up for the day because I didn't like the fact that we had already run the previous daily high, like I said, and I wasn't really too interested in the sales. So I just pretty much just rested. But I could have caught a sell inside of here, or this buy in here would have been good for the day with decent volume. So we ended up selling off, coming down here for 100 and something points. And if you had the stops to be safe up here is 40 points, but to be very aggressive anywhere down here for like 15 points would have given you a better risk to reward. But we ended up respecting this fair value gap right here, and that gave us the best trade of the day. So after that, lunchtime basically kicked in, and then now these days New York session not giving us any clean price action after the 9:30 pop. So I don't know what's causing that, but we ended up just ranging right throughout. This little gap hold us for a bit, but some little scalps in here. If you trade in one of them low spreads account or a futures account, then you can capitalize on some of these little two candle, three candle pushes and just exit, because some of these candles they do have some points in them. So 28 points, 40 points to the high up here, it's 60 points, almost 60 points. So those moves you can actually capitalize on, but that is really it for the day. PM session very lackluster, and we didn't not even give a good reaction for the power hour. So that is how we ended up closing out the day. Tomorrow we have the FOMC minutes, well, not minutes, but rate announcement. So Wednesday we have a very packed calendar, FOMC minutes, um, we FOMC press conference right around 2. So I don't think we're going to get much move in the AM session. Everybody going to wait for this to determine what's the next move, and this should determine which direction we go further out into the week. So that is it for today's video. Until next time, I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.